is Hurricane Francine, and we are basically in the beginnings of it coming on shore. This is Lake Pontchartrain. I'm on the north shore, so I'm going to take the camera for a second and show you a little bit around here, and then we'll come back and do some more talking. So bear with me for just a second. So basically, give you a little orientation of where we're at right here. This is Lake Pontchartrain, which is we're currently on the north shore, like I said, of the lake, and off in the distance, which is very difficult to see from here, is the causeway, which takes you across. It's the longest continuous span in America, actually in the world. Continuous span, and also the longest bridge in America. Directly across, which you cannot see right now, but you can on a clear day, is the city of New Orleans. So Francine now has become, here, grab this. Francine now has become a Category 2 hurricane. And winds are up to and over toward right quarter of the hurricane as it's moving in. At the moment, the winds are in this location are only about anywhere from 5 to 10 with gusts every now and then up to about 20 miles per hour, but that's going to change rapidly over the next couple of hours, and I don't plan to be here at that point. Also, we're going to have a storm surge. They're saying possibly up to 6 feet. Well, I'm 6 foot tall. So you can imagine if I'm standing here in about another 3 hours, it's going to be above my head. So we're talking about some high waters coming across here, which is one of the reasons why you don't want to be messing around hurricanes when they're taking place. Anyhow, yesterday, we didn't know what this thing was going to become. They were saying a Category 2 hurricane. They also talked about it wasn't going to go past the Category 1. This went back and forth. And then today, boom, it becomes Category 2 as it was coming on shore. We've been getting bands of this hurricane for quite some time now throughout the day. But now is when the wind is finally picking up. So people like the Weather Channel that are doing stuff live as well, they're actually roughly, I would say 45 miles from where I'm at and more towards the western part of this area. And that's where it's a whole lot worse than what we're experiencing now. This area has been cordoned off. They're not allowing anybody to drive back here. Law enforcement is keeping people away. They've allowed us to come back here because obviously I have press credentials, and I told them what I was going to be doing, but they don't want people back up in here because of looting of businesses and homes and things of that nature. Anyhow, we're going to have sunset coming up real soon. It's about 7:20, and then it'll be dark and there won't be anything to see. Probably in another hour, the waves are going to start coming over this walk here and over the border boundary area of the lake, and then it's going to be reach a point where you won't be able to be in this area anyhow. I hope that you're paying attention, especially if you live down in Louisiana, or you live in Madisonville, Mandeville, anywhere along definitely Lake Pontchartrain or Lake Maurepas, that you're paying close attention to this storm. Now, as it moves in, this area right here isn't going to get 100-mile-an-hour winds, but it's going to get probably up to about 70 miles an hour. So we're going to have trees down, we're going to have power lines down, and it's going to make a big-ass mess, which is to be expected with any kind of major storm like this. I hope that wherever you're at, you're safe and that you're not involved in getting out in this kind of weather like I am. I wanted to do this for the sole purpose for those of you that have never been around major storms to see what it looks like when it's starting to come in and starting to build. And this is what you get. Like I say, I'm not going to be standing here in another hour when it's getting really, really bad and the winds are kicking up ridiculous amounts. So I'm going to take the camera back for a moment. We're going to kind of walk down the levee here and look at some of that, and then we're going to talk a little bit more, and then we're going to relocate to the Madisonville boat launch where we put our boat in when we come out in the Lake Pontchartrain, and I can show you what that looks like, because understand that the water's now rising there, and a lot of that area is going under because the lake is starting to push north due to the hurricane. And quick, and look at this. This is going to get really, really choppy here very, very soon.
It goes into the water, so I'm thinking probably a walkway there.
So, for instance, this little area right here where you can walk down, that actually goes down several more feet in an area where you can stand. And obviously, as you can see, that's no longer an option as the water starts to rise. Lots of the places around here, like I say, because of the storm surge and because of the wind and what it's going to become, it's reached the point where law enforcement is blocking off the areas and not letting people come down more than a few blocks away. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can or not, I can see it fairly clear from where I'm at right now, but that is the causeway directly in front of me now. You might be able to tell because of the color of the water difference here, how it's kind of a brownish right there. That's because that was land, and now it's underwater with the storm surge starting to push. Now, it is not a mandatory evacuation here at the moment. It may not become a mandatory evacuation. I don't know. For the entire parish, St. Tammany Parish, they're claiming that they're not going to enforce anything like that. But individual cities have the right to do it. So there are some people walking around, like there's somebody right there walking their dog that obviously live down here on the lake, and they're allowed to do that. We noticed coming in here that there is a bunch moved about 3 blocks north of here for people that do have homes along the lake here, so they don't get their vehicles flooded. That's a good little wind gust we just got.
Yeah.
And you can see the wave starting to pick up just a little bit. Like I was saying a while ago, on a good clear day from the North Shore here, you can see New Orleans straight across there. Another indication of how much the storm surge is starting to push is this walkway right here going down to what was land just about 2 hours ago. you could have walked down there. And now you can't. So imagine once it gets to 6 feet, it's going to be, you won't be able to stand here. And of course, it'll be very, very dangerous.
It's some protection.
Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and close out for now. We're going to go down to Madisonville, and we're going to come back live there. By then, the winds will have picked up a little bit more than what they already are, and we'll be able to show you what this storm surge is doing to the Chafunchi River, which goes right into the into Lake Pontchartrain, where, like I say, we launch our boat and to come out in here into the river here, or into the lake here. So bear with us, and we'll be back shortly. And thank you for tuning in to this live viewing of inside Hurricane Francine as it comes into southeast Louisiana.